All right, today we are checking out the biggest bike expo in Colorado. I heard this is a big deal. I've never been to an event like this. So let's go in here and check out what they have and see if we see anything cool. This event is called Velo Swap Denver. And from what I was told, this is something that's been going on annually for years, but I never knew about it. And once I walked in, the first thing I noticed was how happy and excited everyone seemed to be there. And that's when I knew this was going to be a great event. Check out this giant Anthem. I think this is a 2013. This was this kid's first full suspension bike for $700. He was so excited and I was excited for him. What I like about this event is that you get to see a lot of the local vendors that you don't normally see at the bigger bike events. So to know what's going on locally and see the types of things you get to see that you didn't know that were in your own backyard is pretty cool. Here's an old school Trek full suspension that I saw. I think it was selling for $300. Let me know if you know what this is. I'm really into the old school style of bikes. So to be able to see these kinds of bikes in person, it was a big deal for me. We even happened to find some of my personal favorites. The Breezer, you know I love my Breezer bikes. And we saw a Trek Roscoe trying to hide out in the back. Can you believe how far we've come with bike lights? This is what they used to look like, and they actually look really good if I'm being honest. Now it's time to check out the bike that caught my attention the most. I can't remember the last time I saw a bike and told myself, I need this bike. So I had to go find out who was behind this masterpiece. All right, so we're here with Will out of Fort Collins, Colorado with Bender Bicycles. And he was gonna tell us a little bit how he makes these frames and what goes behind building something like this. Is this a frame you usually go with, like the rounded, or does that just happen?
Yeah, so this particular one is like my hardtail, and this like swoopy top tube has been like a feature of that hardtail as of the last probably a year or so. Yeah, not every bike has that, but the hardtail definitely has that.
What is this made out of?
Yeah, so it's all steel, and it's butted steel, so it's from Columbus, Tengay, Dedachai tubing, really nice bike tubing, and then it's all TIG welded. It's pretty like traditional method of building bikes, but yeah, it's steel and TIG welded.
I see you went with the old school wires outside the frame. Is there any particular reason why you did it that way? Because I know a lot of people who work on their own bikes prefer the wires on the outside. So what made you go with that?
Yeah, for that reason exactly. I think it's more simple. It's like I work on my own bikes, and I know a lot of people do too. And internal cablers are cool, but at the end of the day, it's a little bit more of a hassle. So I try to just keep it simple, make sure that people can work on their own bikes and not have to run into too many issues.
This bike right here, is there a model or anything? What is this called?
So this is just my hardtail. I don't have a name for the model specifically because they are custom. So they're built to you specifically.
Okay, nice.
So the conversation starts with what type of bike you want, and then we go into bike fit and measure your body and make sure this bike will fit you exactly. Nice. And so it's not necessarily a model, but it's just a hardtail. Yeah. I do have it in a size range, but most of the time it's custom fit to you specifically.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a steel rigid mount bike that I've been riding lately. And I like the feel of riding steel more. It feels more, it feels softer on the trails for some reason.
Yeah.
So what made you go, because a lot of people go with either aluminum or carbon.
Yeah.
What made you want to go with steel?
I mean, that exact reason. Like steel actually, people think of it as like a very rigid material, but actually it's a very malleable material.
Yeah.
And the ride quality is really great. It feels really supple. It has a lot of forgiveness. And especially when you do a custom bike, you can have, I can make the bike as light as possible too.
Oh, nice.
So if you're buying a commercially sourced, steel bike, they're typically overbuilt. And so I can make this bike a lot lighter than a normal bike and still have that really, really good ride feel. So steel is they say steel is real for a reason because it feels really good.
I found out I've never ridden a steel bike until I got my rigid one.
Yeah.
And I can feel the difference for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we got this gravel bike over here.
Yeah.
And y'all know I've been into my gravel bikes lately. And I was so fixated on the hardtail that I forgot. I didn't even see the gravel bike over here. Now tell us about this. This thing is actually, this is sick.
Yeah.
So this is steel too, I'm guessing?
Yep, all
Okay.
steel. So yeah, it's kind of similar process. Like this would be my standard gravel bike. This one here like fits 42s. This one has a carbon fork. With bikes, I also build steel forks if you want. But yeah, same kind of philosophy. Steel feels really good. On gravel, it's really awesome because you just get a little bit more supple feeling, and yeah, it's a great bike.
When you start building the bike, like what goes into the actual building process? Like, do you have your own machines and all that kind of stuff?
Exactly.
So how do you even start with building a frame?
Yeah, so like I said, it starts with a conversation. Like if you were to be ordering a bike, we would talk about what you're looking for in a bike, how you want to ride, and then from there, yeah, measuring your body and then designing the bike on the computer. So I use programs on the computer to design the bike, and then it's ordering material, so I order raw tubing, and then it's you use a lot of different fixtures, like so to hold the bike in place. So we kind of cut all the tubes on like milling machines, like old kind of milling machines, and then fitting the bike together, and then it's just welding it up, gets painted, put the parts on it, and
so who paints it? Do you paint it or?
No, I have a painter down in Denver who paints all the bikes. Yeah.
Nice.
And but it's really nice automotive paint, painted logos, like really premium.
I know everything on this bike just feels premium.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And how long would you say it takes to make a frame from scratch? Like,
yeah, most frames, like the frame construction takes about a week.
Okay.
And then it's maybe a week or two at the paint, and then parts on it. So it's like typically from when I start building the bike to when it's rolling out the door is about a month, maybe a little less. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I want to see how light that is. Can you?
Yeah, we can pull it off.
Down?
Yeah.
Let's see. I like this, the small sprocket. Like, why do most people go with the small sprockets?
That's mostly because I'm lazy and I want to pedal slower up a hill.
I don't.
Yeah.
That sounds like the sprocket for me.
Especially in Colorado, I mean, we have so many steep, big climbs that, it's like I can have a lower gear and just granny gear it all the way up.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. This is cool. Oh, I didn't know you had to do all this.
Oh, no, you're good.
I don't blame you though, because you're going to have to take the whole thing if you take this bike.
No, it's all good, man.
I love the chrome accents, like the old school feel of this bike.
Yeah, dude, there you go. That one, yeah.
This is a beast.
Yeah.
This is crazy. It's so quiet. You got what kind of hub you got on there?
Those are called Project 321. They're like a little small manufacturer out of Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, really nice hubs.
Yeah, this is. Was this custom, or did you put that on there?
I put this. So this is my bike, personal bike.
Oh, nice.
And so I grew up watching The Simpsons, and so that's like a homage to like my childhood, really.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I gotta go on the record. This is the sickest hardtail I've ever seen. I'm not afraid to say it.